Beloved souls, I am Jesus. I come once again to speak to you about things pertaining to the spiritual nature of humanity. Today, I wish to address the issues of the mind, how it inhibits the conscious experience and understanding of the soul, and why this is such a formidable barrier to this understanding and experience. The mind is a gift from God. It is most certainly a powerful part of the expression of humanity in the material world. Of those spirits of the lower spheres and those in the natural love spheres, the mind is the great focus and expression of the individual. The material mind is not formed until the spirit incarnates into the flesh and becomes an individuated being, where the soul is separated from its other half, embarking upon its journey of development, experience and expression. Because of the very nature of your material world, a world that has been created by humanity, the mind is the focus where education and reinforcement is given to that of development of the material mind. In most cases, the spiritual development of the child is somewhat neglected and not seen as an important part of the child's growth. Though certainly from infancy, that child has many spiritual expressions and to a degree a conscious realization of its true self. This soon disappears as a child is molded and influenced by the forces around it, to become an expression of the material mind and all that this entails. The world is very focused upon indoctrinating all children as they grow into adults in such a way that they become functional and productive individuals in society. This is done in many ways, in the form of your media, to your schools, to the interaction between adults and children, and the interaction between children together. The mind is stimulated constantly. Information is put into the memory bank of the mind almost every moment, ensuring that the mind is well developed and able to engage in the material world. In this way the mind has become the dominant aspect of the individual's consciousness. Unfortunately, this was never meant to be the case, that truly a balance between the material mind and the spirit mind was always meant to be established in the material world. The mind is fine-tuned to all that which nourishes it. What is often misunderstood as the subconscious mind is actually a reflection of those faculties of the material mind, which are attuned to the transmission of thoughts in the ethers around the earth, created by other individuals and by spirits which can influence the individual. This subtle influence is actually a powerful motivator to human behavior, as its essence is within the flow of thought and expression of feelings which lie outside of the individual's consciousness. It infiltrates that consciousness through the energetic patterns that are created by the many individuated thoughts that are expressed in the world. These thoughts often have a common denominator, a feeling, an expression that is carried by many others, though certainly colored by individual expression. They are very similar and resonate together, carrying a stream of thought which enters into the consciousness, which reflects the human condition. Humanity is powerfully influenced by these thought energies, expressions of humanity, reflecting the human condition. The minds of every individual upon this planet are highly influenced by outside forces, whether it be that which is seen and heard and acknowledged by the five senses or that which is an expression of what you call the sixth sense. You have a theory called the 100 monkeys. That in a community of apes which are widespread and not interacting on a daily basis, one individual ape may discover something, a tool, some way of benefiting that individual. Consequently, this knowledge spreads not only throughout their community, but outside of it as well, to other communities without direct communication. How is this possible? It is because there is a psychic connection, a bond between these individual apes. So the knowledge, experience and influence flows between them in this way. Apes are not intellectually comparable to humans, but there is a similarity, for within humanity is also this interconnectivity, this consciousness that flows between all within humanity. Although scientifically this has not been well proven, it is a practical fact between humans. Human individuals experience insights and practical guidance, which they believe originates in their own thinking process, but most likely comes from outside influences such as what I have described. Of course, there is the influence of your devices, which send subtle signals to you, and information which the brain absorbs in what you call an unconscious way, but is not necessarily unconscious. It comes into the brain in a very subtle and conscious way because the mind, which is often engaged elsewhere, does not consciously focus upon this input. The power and influence of humanity amongst itself and within the material world, the earth, is indeed very powerful. It is formidable because humanity has become an overshadowing influence upon the world, inhabiting so many places, changing so many landscapes, influencing so many natural and spiritual elements of the world. Yet humanity continues to see themselves from individuated perspectives, believing that they control and have the power over their thinking process and their behavior, being merely a stimulus and response experience in the material world. But indeed, this is far from the truth. There are many outside forces that manipulate and influence the individual. Though they do not see the complexity of these elements of human interaction or understand the subtlety of these forces, they are nonetheless highly influenced by these elements that exist, some created by human influence, forces of the earth, and by spirits. Consequently, the individual is surrounded by layers of energetic, psychic, and mindful input, which is not consciously acknowledged, but does indeed have a powerful effect upon the motivations, feelings, insights, and experiences of the individual in the material world. Considering this powerful reality that is part of the human experience, it is understandable that there are great challenges and difficulties for each person to make a clear and recognizable connection with their soul. The mind dominates with its powerful patterns of behavior, reinforced constantly by many forces. Motivations and perspectives of the mind reflect and empowers continuous reinforcement of human consciousness from the material mindful perspective. This is the accepted and well-established reality of human existence. Yet there is so much more to the individual than that of the mind constantly churning in its machinations, perceptions, and linear deductions, thereby reinforcing this reality that is man-made. How can the subtleties of the soul penetrate these conditions? How can the soul truly be recognized and acknowledged in a world that is so hardened by materialism and material perception? It is truly a struggle for any individual in your world to overcome the many barriers to this understanding and experience of that deeper part of the individual. I have talked about this in many ways and how often the individual comes to these places of deeper consciousness through traumatic means, through ways that are unexpected, and with some, through their great struggle and pursuit of spiritual truth. Whatever way the individual may come to the consciousness of the soul, there is often a deep recognition within the mind, for the mind is capable of recognizing, to some degree, the consciousness of soul. The great challenge, however, is that the mind often rejects this because it is intimidated by the power of soul consciousness, its difference, its almost alien expression in consciousness. Many continue on in their material ways and mindful ways, which endeavor to negate the experience of something so different and new, thinking it is a figment of the imagination. Yet the imagination is closer to soul consciousness than any other aspect of the material mind. It is that free flow of thoughts and ideas opening a channel toward spirit influence and the influence of the soul into the consciousness of the mind. Indeed, many enjoy this flow of imagination, intrigued by what it may bring to their consciousness. Images, thoughts and feelings flow readily. One may consider this a waking dream when there is an opening that allows for the free flow of human imagination. It can be a portal to the soul, for the way that the soul integrates and experiences life is more similar to the mechanisms of imagination than any other part of the human brain and consciousness. Given discipline and practice, this portal may be opened at will, thereby opening the possibility of understanding, or at least experiencing in a conscious way, soul awareness. These aspects of the mind also bring the individual to a closer awareness of the spirit world, a closer awareness of mindful energies, which gathers around the earth, and all other subtle aspects of human consciousness. Since so much of human endeavor focuses upon linear thought, assessment, trial and error, approaching life from understanding the material mechanisms of life, these other amorphous qualities of the mind's consciousness are often ignored and redirected toward purposeful expressions of materialism. Yet, this powerful trend and reality of the human life is becoming destructive and unproductive because it is inhibiting the flow and functioning of the earth and all that this entails. Few understand the power that they carry. Few see beyond their own material mindful consciousness. Their expectations are that this is the way that is the expression of life in a meaningful and purposeful way. They see little beyond this expression, inhabiting those parts of their brains and their minds which reinforces this attitude and brings to them a sense of stability and truth about human existence. To move beyond this is almost sacrilegious in your Western point of view and that which is of the material point of view in the world. Those who do venture beyond these things are considered an oddity and, at times, pitied upon because they have not learned to adopt the common view. They are different, and that difference makes them unattractive to others who have, or are engaged in the common perspective. Thus human need for acceptance and belonging is sacrificed in favor of the endeavor towards those things that are contrary to human belief and experience. These outliers are isolated and challenged rather than appreciated and accepted. Yet there are those who gather together with similar perspectives and find comfort in their fellowship, their connection with one another. Because of the complexity of human existence and even the nature of human reality, finding truth, spiritual truth, is a very difficult journey indeed. Those who find their way to the truths, which I speak often, find my words fanciful, even uncredible because of the way that they have been delivered in contemporary messages, mediumship. Of course, they contradict and are contrary toward present human endeavor, priorities and motives. Yet, within the consciousness of every individual, there is a sense that there exists something more, and that there is a deep lacking within them. Often there is a sense of not being loved or that the love that they experience is not adequate and fulfilling. Because of the mind's protective ways, there is a tendency to rationalize and to ignore these deep inner sensibilities. Indeed, humanity needs to break through these barriers, biases, and prejudices that are so common to the mental machinations of humanity. There is such fear of vulnerability, of change, of challenging the status quo. The resistance is great, for each individual has been taught from a very early age, indoctrinated into human reality so that within their minds they are completely convinced that what they see and feel and experience in this way is the only truth available to them, and that the pursuit of materialism is the only true motivation that will bring them happiness and fulfillment. As I have said many times, this very attitude and expression of humanity will be shattered by the coming changes upon your earthly plane. You can imagine how fragile humanity will become when their ideas of truth and life have been shattered into a million pieces. What will they do? How will they bring their life back together again into a semblance of truth, a semblance of a life lived that reflects the ideas and paradigms of past human experience? Humanity will experience a great crisis, a terrible reckoning, because of those challenges which God will present and the earth will present to humanity. Wiping clean their lives from all the accoutrements and complexities of human reality, laying bare and vulnerable each human soul. Humanity will be given a choice to seek something that is more of their true nature, their souls, or to perish in the vulnerability of material existence and belief that will not allow them to shift in their consciousness and ability to adapt to a new life. God will ensure that all the forces marshaled to bring healing to your world will uplift and direct humanity toward this new way, this new life. But humanity must let go of its arrogance, false beliefs, and errors that have until now ensured their dominance of the world and their ignorance of what that dominance has done to the world. Their eyes will be opened. All of your eyes shall be opened. To have humanity laid bare in this way will bring revelations of horror, of true understanding of the human condition, and those things that motivate all upon your planet to do what they believe is needed to ensure their well-being. Yet in the ways that these things are done, there is great destruction and a lack of respect for the planet in which they live, and the life which has been given by God. As I have indicated, man's deeper values and perceptions are often not a conscious expression within the individual's life. Rather, it is because they move in the flow of all the aspects of human consciousness, so that through allowing and accepting these influences in their lives they continue on within this flow, this river of human endeavor. That which empowers this river will be curtailed by God and by the natural forces upon the earth. Therefore, the mechanisms and inventions and creations of man will become impotent and unable to support man as it has done in the material world. Humanity will be forced to reconsider their motivations, their needs and desires, for the basic needs of the individual for shelter, clothing, and food will be greatly challenged by a world in transition. Yet humanity is very resourceful, and combined with individual resourcefulness, there will be many powers and influences and assistance given by outside forces, which are being orchestrated and marshaled by God. Therefore, those who are willing to accept and embrace these outside forces in conjunction with allowing their higher functions to inform their actions, will adapt quickly to a new world, and find solutions to a world that is shifting under their feet. These great changes will allow humanity to see for themselves in a practical and even material way the great power that they wield and the great resources within them that have not been tapped and utilized to enhance their life, bring it into harmony with God's creation and world. The human consciousness, that of the mind, will crack open in response to the coming changes. There will be an almost universal experience of pain. Humanity will be greatly distraught as the underpinnings of their reality are removed. Those who are of faith, who have a belief and understanding of their deeper selves and are of light, utilizing their gifts in their daily lives, will have a great advantage over those who are lost, confused and distraught. Those who are receptive to God's influence, His will be guided deeply and shown clearly the ways in which they may be utilized to help humanity recover from these traumas. As time progresses, those who are seeking to grow within their soul, who are seeking the great gift from God, which is His love, will be awakened in their faculties and abilities that are beyond that of mindful and material consciousness, will know what they must do. Each will be given specific guidance, will be shown clearly and have a true understanding of the process of recovery in the transitioning from human reality to that of divine reality. I urge you all to continue to grow in God's love, to continue to explore those aspects of yourself that are not of the mindful, but of the spiritual. Although this world of yours considers such pursuits impractical and not useful, in times to come, they will be of the utmost practicality and usefulness, for in order to integrate into the new world, these aspects of human expression and consciousness must come alive and be utilized so that each individual may be in harmony with the new world. A world that will insist upon the way of higher consciousness in order for the individual to function properly within it. God will not interfere with the individual's choice. In truth, the choice toward that which is of this new consciousness, allowing the shift to take place within them, will be extremely evident and beneficial to those who allow themselves to see beyond their fear and that which is lacking within as a result of the great changes coming. It is a step of faith for each individual to adopt this new reality without bringing with them a desire to pursue that which has come before this new truth. In many ways, it will be impossible to integrate the old with the new. In some respects, there will be a harmonious integration. Those who are meant to open that door will be given the opportunity to do so. What has been missing in the past is the truth of wisdom, the truth of love, an acknowledgement of the sacredness of life and the truth of humility and how humility will bring many benefits to the individual. Whereas, self-assertion and the pursuit of power has diminished the vitality of your world, while you have become more empowered with material objectives and pursuits. Think of a world without all of its material distractions, all that is of man's making, that is created for the gratification of the individual, who does not understand the great price that is being paid for this. Humanity has wonderful faculties and abilities, many things that are yet untapped and unrealized within human consciousness. God is giving humanity the opportunity to shift beyond its stodgy perspective, this mental condition that is stuck within a very two-dimensional reality. The reality that is coming is more than this, for it is great and multidimensional. It is filled with many possibilities. It will show man his great potential, that which he can pursue and know, practice and apply in the material world. Humanity will understand that they are spirit engaged in a material form. With this understanding, they will come to know the potential of spirit and the potential of their soul to awaken to gifts and abilities that would seem far-fetched in the world of today. The world will transition into something of greater light and harmony. That world will allow the engagement of many spiritual gifts and abilities so that the challenges of a material world and the survival within it will transition into something that is less challenging and of greater spiritual substance. The journey will be swift in comparison to human endeavors through human history, yet still, this journey will be intense and challenging. Many will not be able to survive it. They will transition into a world that will allow them the luxury of time to grow spiritually and grow within themselves in a way that they are of greater light. God's loving mercy toward humanity allows the suffering to be brief, although it may be intense. The rewards when one travels beyond, it will be great. The sacrifices of those of you who remain upon the earth will ensure a beautiful life for your progeny, for your children's children and their children and onward for many, many generations to come. This is a great gift from God. You are experiencing and will experience a wonderful awakening, transitioning from darkness into greater light. Those of you who truly accept and embrace this will be greatly rewarded in time. You will look back and realize that what you have experienced is truly a great gift. A wondrous transition from all that which you wondered about and speculated upon in the past, to the realization and affirmation of truth in such a way that it cannot be denied. Your mind will find its way, its balance with your spirit mind and soul mind. These parts of you will find their place in harmony together. In time, those who walk the divine path will know a deep merging and integration of these aspects of your being, as the soul's mind overshadows all and absorbs all that you are. Much will come as the world continues its transition into light. God's great healing continues to manifest and His powerful touch is upon you, beloved brothers and sisters. We in the celestial kingdom continue to add our support and our ministrations upon each of you who are receptive and open to these things. Even those from other worlds are focusing upon you, seeking to uphold you, and curious about how God will accomplish this great task of transitioning human consciousness from that of material ways to that of the Spirit and all that is in harmony with God. It is a wondrous time to be alive, my beloved friends. You will know a journey that is so extraordinary, that is so unexpected, and that which you could not truly understand at this time but will unfold in good time as God continues to prepare His children for a new world, a new beginning, resetting all that is in human consciousness to that which is in greater alignment with the divine. May God bless you on this journey, beloved souls, and keep you steadfast upon the path of love. May you know that you are not alone, as you are well cared for, loved, and protected, and that these things shall grow in light. As you continue to seek God's love and protection and blessings, so it shall be given to His children who are faithful, who know of Him, and seek Him out. God bless you, beloveds. I am your brother and friend Jesus, and I am with you in love. I bless you in love, and I pray for this world, that it may be healed and all those upon it may experience this healing, the blessings that God intends for His children. God bless you, beloveds. My love is with you always. God bless you.